Hey everybody, I'm Oakley at Oakley Does Everything.
And I'm GC Kinsey.
And today we're going to be talking about our music video collaboration, and we will be announcing the winner of the Jean Arc Sword giveaway. Stay tuned. So I'd just like to thank everybody for watching our video, and I want to introduce GC Kinsey. GC, would you please tell us a little bit about your cosplays and your projects that you like to work on?
Sure. So I have been cosplaying for about 7 or 8 years now, and you can find me on pretty much any social media. So Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, at GC Kinsey, and that's just GCKINSEY, all one word. I'm mostly active on Instagram only these days, but I do still have stuff, pictures and things, tutorials, that kind of thing at all the other places. And something I've started recently is a YouTube channel, which is also GC Kinsey, and that is where I've been doing cosplay music videos. I'm a musician. I've been playing music, writing music, and doing all kinds of stuff with video editing for a long time as well. And so this year I wanted to start combining that with cosplay. And so once a month I release a new cosplay music video, and for June of 2020 it's a special collaboration with Oakley, and so that's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I gotta say that it has been a lot of fun, and we've actually been exercising a lot of muscles that we haven't really done, either of us, before, with this long distance collaborating, especially all through the internet.
Yeah, and it's, of course been that way partially because of the whole COVID-19 situation. That's the only kind of safe way to do musical collaboration right now, but we're also in different states. So it kind of would have been that way anyway. But it's been really fun to kind of learn and figure out all the ins and outs of how to make a song and a video from two different locations and make all the technology work for us.
And while we're talking about this, why don't you go ahead and talk us through your normal process, even without the collaboration. How do you go about the recording of the sound, the video recording, and then your final editing? What is some of your process for that?
Sure. So I always start, first of all, with just the concept. And so I think what character is going to be singing what song, and then I come up with an arrangement for the music. And so I sing, that's kind of my primary instrument, but then I also play piano and a little bit of rhythm guitar. And so I decide, how am I going to arrange this song? Is it going to be maybe a duet between two characters where I'm singing each character's part? Is it going to just be one character doing a solo? Are there going to be backing vocals? Is it going to be something with, just piano, just guitar, or both? And once I figure all that out and kind of practice it, then I come into this room that you actually see in the background and record. So this is just a spare bedroom in my house that I've converted to a music studio. So I've got all my equipment in here, and I basically just set aside time, just usually on a weekend day when I've got lots and lots of time, that I can get set up in here, record as many different takes as I need to get all the pieces and parts of the song, and then I just edit that later. And I just use GarageBand. I use pretty much like the free stuff that comes on a MacBook for everything that I do. And so once I've got my final audio recorded and edited, then I have what I need to shoot the video. And for that, I have a Nikon D5600 SLR that I've been using recently. At first I just shot videos on my iPhone, which was really inconvenient compared to a real camera. And I find a good spot in my house that has natural light. So there's a few rooms. One of the best ones is just like my bathtub has a light that lets in, a window that lets in great light, and I just hang a backdrop, which is usually like a sheet or a blanket or something, and have an instant kind of little tiny video setup, studio setup to record my video. I get different takes of different angles, and get as much kind of variety of different clips as I think I'm gonna need in my cosplay. And I do that while kind of singing along to the audio I've recorded, and then that way I can sync it up later. And when I've got all the video I need, then the final step is I take it into iMovie, hoping to upgrade to something a little bit more robust at some point, but I take it into iMovie and just cut everything together And then you've got from that the final products that you've been seeing on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, and I know that for me, the first one that I saw of your videos was actually your Kylo Ren and Rey Skywalker
Yes.
duet. Sorry, spoiler for anybody that hasn't seen it. Rey ends up being a Skywalker, or self-proclaimed Skywalker. But
yes, exactly.
And I saw that, and I just thought it was a really neat idea of doing the split screen of the same person. And we've all seen the videos on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, where one person will go and record multiple parts and then put it all together. I know I've done that for myself on some flute trios, because I play flute. I'm a musician by trade, a music educator I used to be. And I was so intrigued, and I thought, oh my gosh, I know that GC does a Pierre Nikos cosplay, and I've been working on my Jean Arc cosplay, and I thought it was a really cool idea to perhaps collaborate, and for each of us, this is our first YouTube collaboration. So that was really exciting to actually be able to do that, and with somebody I know personally, even though we live in different states 1,000 miles away from each other. We used to live in the same area and go to conventions together. So that was kind of how we knew each other personally.
Yeah, and it was kind of crazy because I didn't know that you were a musician until after we had already moved away into different states and you had kind of talked about seeing the music videos. And I thought it was really fun and exciting to do this collaboration too, because as much as I enjoy making music by myself, it's always so much more fun when you can collaborate with other musicians. And that's been, I think, one of the toughest things. I played bluegrass a lot with people in my family and going to festivals and stuff. And so with the whole COVID-19 situation, that's been something that I was like, I'm really gonna miss that for a good long while until it's safe to kind of go jam with people again. But getting to do this sort of digital collaboration, even though it's not live, it's still been just as fun in other ways. And it has been a really good challenge and a good way to kind of push skills that I didn't even really know I had.
Right, and also it gave you and I an opportunity to actually learn a lot more about each other, because even though we went to conventions with each other and we know a little bit, kind of the stuff you like to share out in public with cosplay friends, just being able to have regular meetings and talk about who's going to do what and at what timeline it's going to happen. But when you're done talking about the logistics of your video, we just end up talking for a while too, and this is collaboration is also a good way to get to know your fellow cosplayers, and I found that a really enjoyable part of this collaboration as well.
Yeah, I have too, and I think it's really cool that we've been able to do this with the music side of it, because I've done collaborations, both in person and kind of over the internet like this on costumes and with cosplay groups, or with doing, kind of distance photo shoots where we both get ready in different places and then do our own shoots and then put stuff together later. But I've not done a music-based one until this, and it's been a whole lot of fun. And I think, one thing kind of to your point, Oakley, about you get to know people at conventions, but one thing you don't really usually find out is what other kind of hobbies or jobs or whatever people have besides cosplay. So finding out that, there are other people out there that I'm meeting through the cosplay community, but that do other things like music that I do, is really, really cool.
Yeah, and I was excited about this because I'm more of an instrumentalist, and I shared this with GC, but one of the things I am most secure about in anything, let alone music, is just singing. I'm not a strong solo vocalist. I think I blend well into a choir or like a 4-piece group or something like that. But doing solo stuff isn't something I particularly am super confident about, but I managed to work it out. But instrumental stuff is actually my primary background, and I just did the vocal stuff to kind of reinforce that part of my career, I guess.
Yeah, and for me, it's been sort of the opposite. My primary instrument, like I said, is my voice, and as far as what I do instrumentally, it's mostly to be able to accompany myself when I'm singing live. So most of what I do certainly on the guitar is like very basic, just enough to accompany myself. The piano is a little more advanced just because I've been playing since I was 6. but I do that all by ear. Like I have not really ever been good at the music theory side of things, and it's mostly been about just what do I have to do to accompany myself so I'm not always singing a cappella. So that's been a cool aspect of this collaboration too, to work with someone like Oakley, who is really strong on that side of things. So I think it was a really good match, a good solid match for both of our skill sets.
So the collaboration that GC and I have been working on has been the song Broken by the group Seether featuring Amy Lee from Evanescence, and we thought that this was an awesome fit for the two characters, as well as kind of the tragedy behind Pyrrha Nikos, as well as the commitment to Pyrrha from John. So that video is actually going to be dropping on June 15th, 2020, and so we're really excited for that, and we really hope you guys will go check that out. So in addition to this YouTube collaboration, we also did an Instagram collaboration with two other Instagrammers. Their names are Jen.cosplays45, who does a Nora Valkyrie cosplay, as well as darkwavesurfcosplay, who does a Lee Ren cosplay. And so we actually did a Pass the Brush collaboration with them. So we did this collaboration to try and promote this video, as well as try to share our followers. Like, we each have followers that don't know about other people, and so by doing collaborations like this, you can open people up to other people that also do great cosplays of Team Juniper.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's been really fun, because I have seen plenty of these Pass the Brush challenges, but I have not done one myself. And so it was really fun to have the opportunity to do that.
So if you're not following us already, make sure to check out our Instagram. Mine is Oakley Does Everything. GC is gckinsey, and Kinsey is spelled Kinsey. And we will also make sure to have links to our other collaborators in the description below. Now, with the YouTube video, that's going to be dropping June 15th, and that is going to be on GC Kinsey's channel, and you can check out that in the description below.
And there's a whole playlist on there of all of my different cosplay music videos. So what's going to happen on June 15th is that one is just going to be added. So it's the very first one in the playlist. So you can check that out, and that's going to be linked in my bio on Instagram as well. And once you watch that one, please feel free to just keep on watching all the rest of the music videos I've done. I hope you're going to like them.
GC has done a Kylo Ren and Rey Skywalker collaboration. He has also done a Deku from My Hero Academia, as well as a Kirishima.
Yes, and there's actually going to be another one coming up. I'm not sure exactly when, but it will be Deku and All Might both as drag queens. So and they're going to be singing a Lady Gaga song together. So it's going to be fabulous on every level.
Yeah, so make sure you check that one out. And he has so many different videos, so make sure to go check all of them out. And he has so many different tutorials, such as non-binary stuff. Can you talk about that a little bit?
So I am a non-binary trans person, as you may have kind of gathered from some of our conversation, and I've got a story highlight on my Instagram if you just go right to my profile, and it's just called Queer Stuff. And so there are a whole bunch of kind of like text posts, educational posts. There's the most recent one is a guide that I made for photographers who are shooting trans clients. And so that's got, I think, particularly for the cosplay community, a lot of good advice. And then what I would like to start kind of phasing into my YouTube channel as well is some of the kind of video tutorial things that go along with some of that information. So one that I do have up there, as Oakley mentioned, is a panel that I did at a bunch of cons last year. That one is called In Just 7 Steps I Can Make You a Man. So basically I just show you how to look kind of like the opposite of how I'm dressed right now. I go through all of my techniques on how to present in a masculine way, and that panel is recorded and up there if you want to watch it. It has a bunch of different links to other stuff in it as well. And another thing I want to start adding is makeup tutorials. And so that kind of goes along with that, as far as the sort of gender presentation. I do a lot of drag, I do a lot of kind of different gender presentation with makeup, and I do a lot of special effects makeup and prosthetics as well. And so What I'm trying to kind of do with this new YouTube channel is, in addition to showing off my musical skills with cosplay, also kind of getting some of this gender stuff that I talk about a lot on Instagram onto my YouTube channel as well. And, you know, maybe even, you know, at some point kind of do some just straight up YouTubing where I talk about these issues that are maybe too long for a 10 slide Instagram post.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's awesome, and we love doing this collaboration. I am so very excited. GC, I want to thank you so much for doing this with me. Again,
You're welcome.
Yeah, and everybody, if you want to watch this video, it's turning out really well, and I'm excited. GC will be doing the final editing this week leading up to the release. And now for the moment you have all been waiting for is the sword giveaway. So I have a list of 8 people that met the criteria for winning the sword, and what we are going to do is GC is going to have a random number between 1 and 8 selected, and they're going to click the button 4 times, and whatever the 4th number is, that person will be our winner. So GC, go ahead and tell us what that number is.
All right, so hitting it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and our random number is 3.
GC, correct. You do not know what the list of names are, correct?
I do not. I have not seen any of these people.
Alright, number 3 is Runaway Warlords. So thank you so much everybody for participating. Congratulations, Runaway Warlords. I'll be communicating with you on how we can get this sent off to you. So make sure that you are paying attention to your Instagram as well as the comment section. So be looking out for that. So congratulations!
Yay!
Yay! So that's going to wrap up this video for this week, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I very much appreciate it, and a huge shout out to GC Kinsey for joining me.
Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. Be kind to one another, everybody. We'll see you on the next week's video. Until then, have a great day. Bye.